What's going on? I'm just kidding. Don't think I would ever do that. What's going on, friends? It's Dobie. Walking up and down stairs is a bit much for me. I need to lose some weight. So how y'all doing today? You said you never thought I'd be early. Well, that's the thing, Blood Wolf. I happened to be off, and I was sitting at my desk for like an hour and a half, being distracted by YouTube videos, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just stream. Like, it couldn't hurt. So how are y'all doing? You having a good Thursday? It is Thursday, right? Yeah, having a good Thursday? All-night party? I won't say that, but you know what? That's something to think about. Got Chinese for lunch today. Chinese is always fun. I just had some leftover pizza. Like, I'm trying to actually... Sorry, leftover pizza, and then I'm just... all the junk food. The audio is delayed a little bit. I'll have to fix that. Thank you for letting me know. It's like you'd think, again, after streaming for so long, you'd think I'd be able to have perfect stuff all set up.
Hardly a fight.
Well, I've never wanted to be like that. My issue when it came to attempting to fix my stuff is that a lot of folks would never tell me what's going on, you know? So I'm just like I think you were like the main one, Blood Wolf. That one time I was streaming for like 3 hours, only to find out that my audio was muted the whole time because of a driver reset, and some folks were coming and going, like, and it wasn't like I was watching the viewer list. They would come in, say hello, I'd talk back to them, and then no one had anything to say. Hold on. Oh, it's taking a little bit. Everything was silent except for my mic, apparently, and again, nobody said anything. It's like, well, that's nice. Like, what are you doing? Also, the sheep broke. No, don't do that. Oh god, everything's coming up on screen. Sheep, the chat. Sheep, it's called, because the program is called Sheep Chat. What is going on? It's like I activated. Oh, here we go. No, I got it. Nah, I fixed it maybe. I don't know. I'm just glad that I'm at the point now with my equipment that I don't have to take down the entire stream just to fix one issue. Because that was annoying to have to deal with. Hey Link Opal, how's it going? Like, only if things get truly bad do I need to, like, restart my computer or something. And that was back when I was streaming using my laptop that I never shut down. Then again, I don't think anyone ever shut down their laptops for any reason. Well, you're one of... Well, Bloodwolf, you're one of the, you know, smart ones. Because that does increase the longevity of a computer. Like, there was one point in time... I still have my laptop. It's just outdated. Like, the materials inside are just outdated.
Hardly a fight.
I was just always on my computer one way, shape, or form, so I never saw the need to turn it off, I guess. That's just me. I think like the last time I actively used my laptop was when I was doing that cooking stream, and I just brought my laptop downstairs because the camera on, because I was using the camera on my phone to do the recording and the live streaming. Now that I don't use Streamlabs, I'm not using Streamlabs for a while, at least until I can, well, no, I stopped using Streamlabs when they decided to put every single, until once they decidedly, sorry, I stopped using Streamlabs for the time being because they decided, like, along with Streamlabs OBS being so, like, resource intense, as far as, like, basic features and everything that I actually enjoyed using when they rolled them out, they decided to put absolutely everything behind a paywall, and I'm like, because you had to sign up for like Streamlabs Prime, which was, it essentially allowed you to do way more things with the broadcaster that were originally free, but I suppose as most software goes, because they aren't the first broadcaster software people or whatever to let you use everything for free in the beginning, and then all of a sudden later, oh, we have to start charging people for it because they want to make their revenue, and, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but, like, what made me stop using XSplit originally wasn't because they were expecting me to buy a license. My issue with it became they were restricting what capture devices you could use. Like, if you had a really good capture device, like, I have a good capture device right now, and in order to use the really good capture device, I had to buy the monthly premium subscription, which was basically just extra coding, a bit of extra code inside of the software that unlocked features. Like, I could stream at higher resolutions, and I could stream at a higher bit rate and everything like that if I paid for the license. And even then, that still wasn't really very much annoying to me at the time. What truly annoyed me was that sorry, what truly annoyed me was that there was not only was I like super restricted and everything because I didn't have a premium license, but like you see the dancing like you see the little dancing Dobby at the bottom right? Like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of cute if not cringy. But, you know, that's all you see on the screen. That's literally all you'll see on the screen. Meanwhile, because it's my little personal watermark or whatever, XSplit also slapped a big ol' watermark in the corner of your stream that you could not get rid of if you were using the free version. And like, it was stupid. I just really didn't like, that just made me not like XSplit after a while. And then you see, like, I still see a lot of streamers today still using XSplit, and I'm like, more power to you to use XSplit, but at the same time, because like one person actually did bring, it was in like a partner, it was in a bigger streamers chat that I used to visit a lot, and he was talking about, oh yeah, the people at XSplit made a really good product, and then their response was, it's easy for you to say that. They were like, easy for you to say that with that lifetime premium membership that allows you to use absolutely every feature of the software. Because what annoyed me was, I'm sorry, XSplit was a good, yes, XSplit was a good software, but I had already paid like $250 for a new capture device, and the website and the software would not let me use it. It legitimately, I would plug it in and everything would be on the preview screen perfectly fine, but if I clicked go live, it hit me with a pop-up that said I needed to buy the premium version. So that's when I started learning how to use OBS. Hey Bloody High Claw, I was just giving unnecessary backstory to different broadcasting software I've used. Well, like, cause the next thing too is a lot of the, like, I think the main hot capture device at the beginning, at least when I started streaming, the really hot capture device at the time was an Elgato, was like the Elgato capture card or whatever, and it was going for like $300 at the time, and it came pre-packaged with XSplit Premium for 3 months, and I'm like, well, that makes perfect sense as to why all of a sudden, they are trying to charge for it. And it was lame because like I have the money for it. Like, obviously I have the money for it now. Like, if I wanted to use some of these premium features and stuff, I totally could, but at the same time I just did not want to be bothered. So OBS may be way more work to figure out, but it's free. Another reason why I stopped using Streamlabs OBS is because of the fact that, like, I'm pretty sure some other streamers that are way more technically savvy than me will let you know that when you're doing live streaming and stuff like that, right, your CPU usage should always remain low. Like, the ideal, based on what people have told me, the ideal CPU use for your PC while streaming should be below 20%. It should never be any higher than that, because that means your computer is working way harder than it should, and that usually only happens if your system is just, in my laptop's case, old, or you just can't do what you're trying to do with it, which would require you to, like, tone down settings so much to the point that for the viewer, the stream is unwatchable. Because I'm pretty sure we've all, like, everyone has seen, like, 10-year-old YouTube videos, and you see the huge distance and difference in quality when you watch them, yeah? And then there was at that one time or whatever, all of my streams were looking like that because my laptop could not handle
the higher powered stuff, because I was trying to use Streamlabs OBS on my laptop originally, and the CPU use shot up to like 45-50% with just Streamlabs OBS, and it's like, I look more into it, all Streamlabs had to say was, "Oh, we're sorry to hear that. Be sure to adjust your settings properly to make sure you're not overworking your PC." And then a user, not even the actual staff, had a way better concrete answer to give people. Yeah, so what makes Streamlabs OBS so annoying to deal with is that, for your convenience, the entirety of Streamlabs is in the client, so you don't have to open a browser, which I thought was fantastic. But at the same time, because of damn near the entirety of Streamlabs website being in the client, that also meant that so much stuff is running in the background when you don't need it to, and sometimes computers can't handle stuff like that, and it's like, it's good software. I would love to go back to using Streamlabs OBS, but at the same time, I don't know if you guys remember the I'm not sure if you remember the Magic 8 Ball, like all the little stream apps I had running at one point or whatever when trying to use that software, basically. And granted, at that time, that was long before I was using the stream avatar thing. Stop ganging up on Cinnamon. She didn't do nothing wrong. So, just for fun though, I might just bring back the avatars just to see what it's like. Because that little app thingy isn't run on bits and stuff, so I don't need to worry about you guys feeling like you have to pay to do whatever. I mean, you guys already found like the avatars you enjoy using anyway. But I think it's just about that time. I've had this PC for 3 years now. This pre-build for 3 years now, and I suppose I'll have to look at parts and everything to, you know, bump everything up to standard, because the most intense PC game I ever play is probably some random thing on my Steam list, but since I do not PC game on the regular, I feel that I have no reason. Come on, get in here. Come on. Okay, fine, I'll pet you. You want pets? I'll give you pets. You're not in trouble. Stop cowering.
Unbelievable.
I know, Zero. It's unbelievable. This dog thinks he's all that. But yeah, if anything though, I still think it's kind of lame because I'm not a Twitch affiliate anymore, which means I don't have channel points anymore. And it's like, I don't understand why channel points are affiliate and partner only, but then I saw them releasing all these little things or whatever for channels, and I'm like, well, that makes perfect sense. Honestly, now that makes perfect sense as to why these things aren't available to the little man that technically aren't bringing Twitch more money. It's like, will I actually ever decide to go back to the affiliate program? Because I totally can. They never said I could. They never said I couldn't. Like, I wasn't banned from it or anything like that. And the fact that every single time I open up my stream manager, it keeps telling me, "Good job! Why don't you start the affiliate program?" And I'm like, yeah, no thank you.
Next.
That being said, though, I might bring back the Patreon. I know some folks don't like hearing about money stuff. Yeah, I can get back. Yeah, I can get back into the page. I can get back into the affiliate program. I feel like if I wasn't able to, then it wouldn't be constantly telling me that I can do it. Like, I feel like they would go through the trouble of actually showing you, no, you cannot do this. Because, like, the application... Hang on, I'll just show you. Because, like, here's the website stuff. Because, like, this is it right here, right? And when I click home... Nice work, you leveled up to Twitch affiliate. No, it's like I have all of the requirements already done and everything, but, like, again, I don't... Yeah. Also, this is stupid. The average, you have to have an average of 3 viewers. Remember at one point they outright said, because a lot of people were applying and were like, people were applying for partnership and were wondering why they weren't able to be part of it. And the response that Twitch always gave them was, oh, we see that you get a lot of viewers from raids and hosts, but not your own merit. You should try to build up your own community first. So I guess they must have changed that real quick because they're trying to get as many affiliates in as possible. Because the more affiliates there are, the more sub buttons they can give out, and the more sub buttons they give out, the more revenue they can make off of people wanting to sub. And like, it's not like I don't want Twitch to make money, but at the same time, on Patreon, I don't have to wait until I hit $100 in order to actually get, you know, paid. And that's why that's why I had the Patreon before I had the affiliate link, before I had the sub button. And I'll be honest, I'll be 100% honest. When they said I could be an affiliate, I kind of just dropped Patreon entirely under the guise of I don't want people to think I'm double dipping. But in reality, it literally just became, it's actually literally just people do Patreon because YouTube doesn't pay immediately. Like, let's be real, all of the streaming services do not pay immediately. That's why a lot of people, that's why you always see a lot of people with not only donate buttons but Patreons and the sub buttons and everything like that. So at the end of the day, you're essentially paying, to me anyway, here's how it just came across. People sub to people on Twitch to use emotes first and to support them second. Like, someone ended up asking me at one point, and that was kind of salty, and I have no problem admitting I was kind of salty when I responded to them. They were like, well, don't you want a sub button so people can support you? And I'm like, I had a sub button for a while. It was called Go to my Patreon. It was called Go to my Patreon to throw me like $1 or $2. Like, I wasn't even expecting people to don't, like, only one random person on Patreon would, like, and that one person was the reason why I was able to do Patreon giveaways for like 3 months before they unsubbed. Was that one person who gave me like $50 a month for no reason outside of they had money to spend, I guess. I don't know their entire situation, but long story short, they had a lot of money and they were choosing to give it to me. So I got lucky, but then I got really lucky, I guess. But the main reason why I ended up learning that they just had a lot of money to burn through was that they were apparently going, because like there were other streamers in the little team thing that I was on before it got rebranded, and they were subbing to, they were like, if it was a furry thing, it was a furry who had a lot of money. Okay, I'll just be blunt. If any other furry streamers out there had Patreons, or at the time GameWisp, remember, I don't know if you remember GameWisp, but it was Patreon for live streaming. Oh, no, here's the thing, Bloodwolf. I was doing what Zizaku told me, like, most people on Patreon or whatever have what they call a joke tier, which is there's no way nobody would ever sub to this for no reason. And I also had my Patreon set to charge people up front, so that way they couldn't pledge to charge. So that way, like a lot of like what you do, you set, because you had people out there who would pledge to your thing, promising to pay at the end of the month, but then they would change their mind at the very last minute before they got charged and shit. And like a lot of content creators, artists, and other people on Patreon who actually did offer things to people who sub to them and everything, like weren't getting paid. So Patreon introduced the pay up front feature, so they couldn't charge back their payment. And honestly, you know, more power to them, because a lot of people were technically getting ripped off at that point. But no, I actually contacted the person just to verify, because people do make mistakes. And the response he gave me was, it's something I'm choosing to do, etc., etc. And I'm like, well, thank you very much. And because of that one patron, I think the most I was making on Patreon at a time every month was maybe, I want to say $70 a month. Which honestly was kind of cool, because it felt like I was actually getting something. I felt like I was getting something out of, like, financially, I felt like I was getting something out of streaming. Therefore, I was actually able to do, like, other things that I see other streamers do, like giveaways and junk like that. Because it's like, I'm not really against doing giveaways, I'm just against leashes. Usually the people treating Patreon as an OnlyFans account are the ones who truly get away with that, Blood Wolf. I forget which cosplayer it was, but nobody liked her. But no one likes her. At the time, nobody liked her. Hold on, because we were actually discussing this cosplayer in a Discord server I was at. Let me look at this real quick. Hang on, because we actually did talk about this. Hold on, let me see here, because I love how he put it. Thanks for the clarification, Dobie. She's a notorious shit cosplayer that barely puts any effort into the clothing that she shoves her lazy fat ass into for validation for idiots lonely enough to waste money on that kind of shit because they have no standards themselves. Yeah, like, this chick really wasn't, like, I know it sounds terrible for me to say, but you know how the ongoing joke always is, oh, if you don't have the body, like, this is before, like, the main reason why she was popular or whatever was because of the fact that there are people who are actually into that body type, and I say, hey, more power to you. I just don't get it. But I guess that particular, I don't know what to call it, fetish, is not something for me to get. If it's not for me, it's not for me. Just like how I don't expect everyone to automatically agree with me when I say insert hot werewolf man is sexy as hell. You're gonna have some people agree with me, you're gonna have some people thinking I'm a freak, and then you're gonna have the other people thinking, where are the tits? It's like, someone did ask me at one point, well, Dobie, have you ever tried doing like supplementary stuff like drawing or something? And I was like, I don't draw though. And like, part of me thought, you know, I could I could stand to do more drawing streams or something if I legitimately felt like it or whatever. Like the last quote-unquote major drawing stream I did was when I drew up that emote. I don't know. I guess again my thought process behind, you know, the whole affiliate thing and all that was, oh, this'll give me like the perfect amount of motivation to keep doing what I'm doing. And I did keep doing what I was doing. And to this day I'm still doing what I'm doing. And I kinda haven't improved much, and I will admit to that. Longtime viewers or whatever can easily say that to a point. The only thing that's really changed about my live streaming is I guess I have way more variety in what I do. Oh, I've been aware of the Patreon sales tax thing forever. It didn't bug me much any because I was like, well, I'm paying for it anyway. They added on sales tax because Patreon is constantly growing and people are constantly defaulting to Patreon for like a lot of income and shit. So in order to pay everybody out, Patreon had to up their fees a little bit. Well, if I remember correctly, one of the issues that came with Patreon at the time was that a lot of idiots weren't filing taxes correctly from Patreon.
Well, this is just delightful. Adieu.
But like, they apparently also have like different account plans and stuff now for new users because so many people were, like, a lot of people were flocking to Patreon and then doing nothing with it. So I guess in a way, to discourage randos from hopping on no, like, seriously though, a lot of people were like opening up Patreon and then legitimately not doing anything. Like, I know I hardly did anything with mine outside of things that were off the website, but, you know, like, they weren't posting anything, or they weren't even giving updates and shit, so a lot of people, like, let's just say, Creator A made a Patreon. They stated, oh, the Patreon's supposed to be for yada yada yada, this, that, and the third. And so they got a lot of money, they got a lot of pledges towards their Patreon, they started making a lot of money from it, but then they had nothing to show for it, therefore, that's technically... Lay down. Come on, get out the door. So, but they had nothing to show for it, which is technically, if I had to call it anything, false advertising? But, I don't know. It's just... The only reason... again, the main stint as to why I was considering just redoing Patreon again is just that every website out there that's like, oh, you can make money off of what you do, are all saying you have to be at X threshold in order to pay you, in order to be paid. And on Patreon, that's where the sales tax comes in. Like, if I made $50 a month, I may only take home 48, but that $2 in sales tax allows me to get paid every month rather than, I want to say, actually, Bloodwolf, with your subscription and like one other person, because one of my other buddies like subbed to me long ago and then forgot about it. I was letting her know about it too. Like, I wasn't just trying to sit on it like, well, if she wants to keep on subbing to me, then it's her problem. But no, she was 100% fine with it, and she was well aware. But between you and this one other person, and then like the few bits I got in between, I have been paid from, like, after having affiliate status for 4 years, I got paid from Twitch 3 times. So that was actually kind of funny. Hang on.
fight.
But yeah, Bloodwolf, like, I've had affiliate, and granted, I know it sounds like I'm complaining, but thinking about it, there are so many things, like, stream-wise, I could easily be doing better. Like, I pretty much just set up the whole thing, immediately jumped on affiliate status, and then just sat there, thinking, oh, people are gonna come by, people who, like, the folks who claimed, because there are a lot of folks who have said to me in the past, the same, like the main throwaway line of, "Oh, I would support you if you had a sub button." I'm like, well, there's a donate button there's a tip button right there. You could just send me a quick tip. But whatever. But you know, yeah, as I've mentioned before, as I mentioned before, I've only been paid from Twitch 3 times in the past 4 years. But then again, that's on me. I need to create like, a lot of folks need to understand, if you want folks donating to you and stuff like that, you have to create content that people actively want to support. You know, beyond, you know, coming to visit and shit like that. And then you also have to realize, not everyone can afford it. That $5 can be could be lunch and or dinner for that person. You don't know everyone's financial situations, etc., etc. I'm not trying to be a Bad Bunny and DSP is what I'm saying. Also, I'll be right back. I have to help Zizu's mom with something real quick. Give me just a moment.